Hello again. It's been a little while, and I'd like to say that I knew more, but I don't, not really. I have communication difficulties with reaching out and asking for information, and because a lot of times I'm afraid to find out what the actual situation is, and if I don't know what's going on, then I don't have to deal with it, or I can make up whatever story I want or believe what I choose if I don't have actual information. That doesn't help anything or help anyone as far as you know being a part of it, or trying to assist or help others. Uh, but I automatically start to forgive myself because what really can I do? The situation is in uh, capable hands. And maybe it's just better off, staying out of it until I am notified of something. I've already made my presence known, and that I am available, and I am around, and I am paying attention, and I haven't been contacted. And that might just be that there's just things going on that I just don't know about at this time, that I really cannot contribute to, and there's nothing really I can do. And my knowing about it is not a critical or crucial element to its resolution. So no matter, I can choose to feel about that however I want, but the reality of it is I am here, and the situation is going on far away, and I don't know. So I haven't heard anything, and I kind of wonder if that's either a good thing or a bad thing, where it's like, a good thing, maybe it wasn't as serious as what I was kind of thinking, I was led to believe. Just hearing that somebody's in the hospital, and it's like, okay, based on what I personally already know from my history, it's like, well, that makes sense, that they were going to be in the hospital. And I can only imagine what for. And yeah, and it could be really, really bad. But for them, it could be more, sad to say, routine, because they have a long history of, being around hospitals. So do I, but just as a driver and a visitor and a family member that waits. So maybe it wasn't life-threatening, or, but it probably was pretty serious. And I still have yet to hear about what it was or how it went, what's happening now, and do I want to know? I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying, if you want to call it enjoying, this grace period. This period of time before I actually find out what the truth is, the seriousness of all of it. And not that there's anything I could have done about it to prevent it, and there's not much I can do about it now. So, they've got my contact information, and if it goes another day and I still haven't heard anything, I'm going to have to reach out again, because I've already called a couple times. I called yesterday, and I called the day before, and I just didn't call today because I haven't heard anything. And yeah, so there's that. And I doubt anybody's made it this far, so now I can talk about whatever I want, appropriately bore or disinterest people, because it's not immediately understandable, relatable, entertaining, or yeah, it's just some guy talking, and it's about something that they have no idea what it is, and that's true. And it's like, would I watch somebody else just randomly talking about some life situation? Yeah, maybe. it depends on how they spoke and what they, I don't know. That's just conjecture. But before I was deciding whether or how or what to do today, because I do enjoy this, I find it to be a comfort, something I feel like I can do in the midst of, turmoil. Something I can do. But I was thinking about, do I want to record one of the short videos, or one of the longer videos in the other room, or out here? And I set it out here, obviously. And I was thinking about how this and these longer videos, they are very episodic. It's like This Life episodic. They are not standalone recordings. Each one is kind of based on, the others existing. It's like my life. What I did today was based on all the days previous. So there's a continuity of persona, presence. And the people that know me, they encounter and meet basically are about the same person every day, just in various moods, but nothing that's too dissimilar and for me. So, whereas like the shorts, the less than a minute long installments, they are definitely more standalone. Each one is trying, at least I try to keep it in mind, that they are independent of the others. So I need to be concise and more to the point, and just fit everything into what I'm trying to say. And then if I can't, or which I usually can't, that's where the description comes in. I can just write out what I was meaning to say in long form, whereas these I can just talk, and I don't have to write anything unless I want to, for a complimentary companion piece. But the shorts they weren't going to do it today. And also I thought about, with the situation that's going on as I feel it to be, just going about my normal routine without acknowledging all of that. It's like, I'm sure people could do that. They probably keep a lot of their private lives, whatever's going on in the background. They probably don't talk about it. It's none of anyone's business unless they make it so. But for me, it's like nothing about me is all that private, and no one I'm talking about. I talk about things so, non-specifically and anonymous that anyone would be hard pressed to be offended or something like that. And a lot of my family are not very technologically advanced, not the older generation. Some of us don't even have cell phones, don't even have smartphones. I don't know, it's caveman. But no, so it's like they don't have mobile devices, so communication is difficult. Sometimes landlines, and so, and also the same thing with the internet or email. Yeah, not so much. The generation that I'm from was the first generation, obviously, that was starting to get into that. It's like I was raised around computers, and my first computer was an Atari, little gaming console, which actually had a keyboard, and it could program BASIC, and write little things to do things, and it was kind of cool. It wasn't really my thing, but I just was aware of it, and I mostly just played the games. But so anyway, so with everything going on, or with everything that's not going on, because I don't know what the difference is, yet, I decided to just go with this and call it good and just admit all of that which I don't know. And I'm kind of anxious about it and a bit afraid of what I don't know. And also all the things that might be being expected of me right now that I'm not doing because I don't know about it. You know, different perceptions of things. And it's like, well, what's Eric doing? Oh, I just said my name. Dang it. But I'm not editing it out. You know, anybody who is watching, I don't think anybody's watching up to this point anyway. But it's just my first name. So I don't think that's that private. I don't need to keep that secure, do I? I hope not. Oh. Do I want to re-record just because I let my name drop? I don't know. I don't think so. No. That's a bit too paranoid, I think. But, anyway, I had a thought, and I've lost it now. Because I got distracted. Oh, but I decided to do my best to pay respects to the situation and acknowledge what I'm thinking, how I'm doing, and what my thoughts and feelings are on the situation at this time on February 21st, 2023. And I was just sitting here looking out the window and recording. And as far as like other people's expectations of you know, what I'm going to possibly be expected of, to take care of, or to handle, or to know how to do things, or to be willing to do things, it's like I don't know any of that yet. It's like, how much of it will anyone else be doing? And how much will I need to investigate and figure out and make decisions about? And will there be help? I know there'll be help, but it's like, how much is going to be trying to like put as much So I don't know how these things go, and I don't know how this is going to have turned out. But you know, I'm sitting here in the from this perspective, and it's like it will have turned out the way it's going to. I just don't know how that is yet. So, like I said in the previous video. So, anyway, this is about all I know how to do right now at this exact instance in time. So, yeah. It might not be good. It might not be acceptable for anybody else. But without information or contact, not even a text message from anyone saying, this is what's going on. Of course, that's kind of to be expected with my family and the lack of communications. All of us are like this. You know, it's just the younger generations, but I'm just going to wait another day, and then I'll try again and reach out for more information and see what's going on. Maybe it's not as bad as what I was led to believe, and it was a little bit of an overreaction at the beginning. Maybe it'll lead to something good. Maybe it'll lead to a better lifestyle change for them. I would personally, for my own selfish peace of mind, if you can call it that, I want them to be, you know, safe and, you know, comfortable and relatively happy with how they're living. But I can't do that for them. I have my own life to attend to, and it might not be like a glamorous life, or a life that has justification and value and is redeeming in the eyes of society, but it is my life, and I'm living it the best I know how. And it doesn't matter that I'm not a critical success of any caliber. I'm living a life, and it's like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with how I'm living my life. And it doesn't matter if anyone else is not okay with it. It has value to me. And I like it a lot better than how I used to like my life, which I was ready to abandon and give up on, because I didn't want to live it anymore. And so I stopped. But it wasn't the end. So that must have been scary. And I didn't choose to come back. That choice was made for me. I didn't have a choice in the matter. But I was in the dark for a while. And I'm sure there were a number of family members that were curious and in the dark about what was going on for me, and what had happened, and why it had happened, and how did no one know? Why did no one stop it? And things like that, questions that weren't getting answers. And they were probably just sitting in the dark, wondering and worrying over all the things that they didn't know. And so it's like, so I'm kind of doing the same thing. So the best thing I can do is just be patient, wait for more information, and then be prepared to address things as they happen. Because until I find out things, I don't know anything. And so worrying doesn't really help that much. It doesn't stop me from worrying. Being afraid doesn't really help all that much. It doesn't stop me from being afraid. So I wouldn't say I have a discipline about it, about worrying too much or being anxious too much. I'm just aware of it and how it has its uses, but ultimately it is self-serving and non-productive, unless it's evoking action that is beneficial in some way, whether even it is just to demonstrate or illustrate a point, or just to give a statement in time of what was going on, either so I can let myself know later what was going on and how I was doing or what I was thinking, or to let somebody else know, just to give us a snapshot. Like, this is how I deal with things. This is kind of my regular, and it's the best I know how to. And I think even this is how I used to handle things too, but I don't have as many of those memories. They're there somewhere. I just don't remember things even the same as what I used to. I just know that I was there, but I don't know how I was thinking about things or what I was paying attention to, or how I was processing. So, I'm much more awake these days and paying attention. And that's not always a good thing either, because sometimes I'm paying attention to the wrong things and putting together the wrong information in the wrong order and creating a whole story arc and narrative which does not exist. And that's where those reality checks come into play. And if I don't, or am not able to get reality checks, then things fall apart. You know, without conversation, communication, and correspondence, everything falls apart because I get lost and then I just shut down because it's like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on and I don't know anybody's thoughts or feelings about anything. So I'm just not going to do anything until I find out more information because I don't know how to proceed or if to proceed. So I will just not. I will stop investing, stop putting energy in that direction. And maybe that's what is wanted. That's what I end up surmising, is that because I figure if I was wanted to do something, they would be in contact. They would check on me, I would think. You know, initiate. Whereas if I'm always the one that's initiating, then it's like, well, I don't know where I stand, kind of thing. So, what value, significance, consequence do I have, or was I just, I don't know. So, anyway, I guess I have more pressing and concerning things that are, but I am here to, I'm a lot more here than I used to be. So I can feel some peace about that, some self-respect. And not that that actually makes me feel all that much better, but as a general rule, hiding and denying and running away and pretending at reality, I mean, imagination's nice and being creative is cool, but when it gets down to business, gotta take care of business, take care of situations as they happen. So, and I might not like it, and I might not accept it. I might do things wrong, and I might make mistakes, and I might look foolish, or, you know, give myself away that I don't know what I'm doing. But that's okay. I'm not supposed to. I mean, unless I've already had experience with it, you know, it's like I'm not supposed to already know. And giving away that I don't know, it's not like, ooh, a big secret. No, I don't. I've lived a pretty sheltered life, even though I've done a lot of traveling and had a lot of interesting experiences. I've had a different kind of life, a different quality of life, a different assortment of events that probably a lot of people have not had. So I've got that. And it's an atypical, unconventional, unorthodox life. But it's definitely not theoretical. It's very real. So, anyway, I don't think I'm going to make it to a full half hour. I mean, I don't feel like even trying to stretch the point. I've said everything I needed to say. I think for the time being, I'm going to halt shorts recordings, the little 1-minute recordings, because those just don't give me space to breathe. And I used to do these longer recordings a lot more frequently because they allowed me to just go and talk. And I relied on the fact that I didn't expect anybody to ever watch. And I still don't. But I just get a recording and I know it's there. And I said what I needed to say. And I don't have to think about it anymore. It's like, I've said it. It's like it's like those recordings in October where I was just talking about this situation in the future that hadn't happened yet. Well, it's happening now. Well, at least more of it is happening. And I was frustrated then. And it's like, so this is the now of it, a continuation of that story. But it's real, you know. Truth is stranger than fiction. So, anyway, this is now here, and I'm just taking it, you know, reality as it happens. This life, episodic. Except for me, it's broken up into in-between naps, periods of waking, because I don't even really structure things into days. Not anymore, not really like I think other people might, because my days are more fluid for when they start, when they end, and I can have multiple days in the same day. And sometimes sometimes one day is multiple days, and sometimes I can have multiple days in one day. To me, you know, and the rest of the world is operating, you know, and I sometimes play along with that. But anyway, I have to accommodate and acknowledge that you know, there's all these systems in place that, you know. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling now, so I'm gonna go preheat the oven and make some comfort food. I'm thinking tater tots. So, anyway, when you run out of things to be upset about, you just gotta sometimes just kind of laugh. Because what else are you supposed to do? You know? So, with that, I'm gonna go. So, thank you.